My name is Brenda Decker, and I have been coming to this church for over 15 years. So I met my husband. He was in the military. I met him through my brother-in-law. They were stationed on the same ship, and we started dating in May of '94. Got engaged in October, got married on New Year's Eve. So we were married almost 27 years when he got sick in September of 2021. And after about a month illness, the Lord took him home on the 18th of October. Stephen had been away from church for a while. He had been, I think sickness had been coming on for probably a year. We just didn't know it. About a year before he passed away, his liver functions were normal. Then they were off the charts in September, and he had to go into the hospital and have 5 units of blood given. He spent a week in the hospital, came home, started swelling in his lower extremities severely. And so it was only about a month of the total illness, and he passed away peacefully in his sleep. He lay down to take a nap, and I found him when I got home. The doctor said it was autoimmune hepatitis with anemia as a contributing factor, and he had lost just an incredibly amount of weight. His last month was really hard for him. It was really difficult having to do all the things that he would do. He stayed at home, he worked from home, and he took care of all the household stuff. He cleaned the bathrooms, he vacuumed the floor, he did all the laundry, and I taught school. So having to now start doing all of those things on my own, and it was just difficult. But the big thing was, I don't know how many times I've found myself, something happens at school and my first thought is, I got to tell Stephen when I get home. And I still do that. There were days I didn't want to get out of bed. There were days I cried myself to sleep. I felt lost, empty. I wasn't sure. I know there's different stages of grief, but I wasn't, sure. One minute I was angry. One minute I was relieved that God had spared him from a terrible sickness that there was no cure for. But God has been the one who has sustained me, and he's been the one that has carried me through everything, even before Stephen passed away. I don't know how people get by with life without God in their life, but certainly since this has happened, I have relied on God way more than I ever had before. For me, peace, you look up Webster's definition, which I did, and it was like the absence of war, tranquility, and then I went and looked up the biblical definitions of peace, and I believe it's in John 14, where he talks about, my peace I give to you, my peace I leave to you, not as the world does, because the world doesn't understand that. The world does not understand, how do you do life? How do you get up every day knowing he's not there, knowing you're going to go to bed at night and he's not there? God is the one that gives me peace. God has sent family and friends and a church family that have come alongside of me and my kids and have upheld us. That has given me peace. Peace in knowing that, like I said, God spared him from a horrible sickness. Peace that I'll definitely see him again one day. The assurance that I know where he's at. So that has given me a great sense of peace. I would just like to thank my church family for coming alongside of me. You've always been there with me, but this past year I have felt your love and your presence and just your help, knowing that I can call you guys, You're there for me. You're praying for me. You're helping me do physical things that I need help with. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to tell you thank you for being the hands and feet of Jesus. We love you guys so much, and I am just blessed to be a part of such a loving church family.